Beyond the Gates from 2016, directed by Jackson Stewart. Here's the summary. Two estranged brothers reunite at their missing father's video store and find a VCR board game dubbed Beyond the Gates that holds a connection to their father's disappearance. Jason, did you have any additional information?
I do. This has a tagline, Press, Play, and Pray. Distributed by IFC Midnight, which we've done a couple of those already. And it was put out on Blu-ray by Scream Factory in 2017.
Yeah, it's...
And Jared's also mentioned Supernatural several times, and he Jackson Stewart also did some writing on there.
Yeah.
It's also got a lot of purple in it.
A lot of purple, like
pink, blues, and purples. Yes,
I like the colors a lot.
A lot of purple.
Most of the things I enjoyed about this movie had nothing to do with the storyline, though. I'll be honest. Here's the list of things I really enjoyed about this movie. The fucking video store. I want that place. I want to own that place. I want to live in it. Really. I mean, just be in there.
That would be something. That'd be nice to inherit.
That is and they're just disassembling. They're disassembling it. They're just tearing it down.
As soon as they walked in, they want to box it up.
Yeah. The VHS game itself brought back memories of me really wanting to play those things, but I don't think I ever did. Did you guys?
Yes, I did.
Which one did you play? Nightmare?
Yeah, that seems to be the most popular one. Yeah, I played the crap out of that game. I never owned it, but had friends across the street and down the way who had it.
Man, I always wanted to play that shit. I just never got to. I liked all the horror references throughout the movie. I think that I heard the name Hardesty thrown around. There was little like nods to horror throughout the whole thing. Of course, Barbara Crampton is fucking still beautiful as shit. I like Barbara Crampton, and very highly effective as like a creepy ghost figure type thing.
She was a producer too, wasn't she?
Yeah. I like the idea of the movie a lot, but not necessarily the execution. I think I wanted more out of it. Like I wanted more shit to happen board game related, but not a whole lot of. It's kind of uneventful. Basically.
Well, yeah, I know what you mean. You wanted more to happen. Like once they started playing the game, I really wanted something more. But then again, it's low budget. You do what you can. So I think the easiest thing to do is throw some lights in there, make it colorful.
Yeah, the colors were really fantastic. But
great theme song too. The way it comes in, and then showing the workings of a VCR.
Oh yeah,
that was awesome.
Yeah, there was a lot of things I enjoyed about it, but I wanted more of a Jumanji kind of thing. I wanted like bats and shit. Like I wanted it to be horrored out, like werewolves and shit. Why wasn't there just werewolves everywhere?
Again, it's budget.
Yeah, it's true. Overall, it was fine the way they did things. I gave it a 6 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. Who's next?
Frank got to the rating right away.
Well, I mean, we go. I take turns.
I really, really wanted to like this, and I do. But like you said, I kind of was left wanting a little bit more. Some of the complaints I've seen is the fact that, like, once they start playing the game, that's all they do is just kind of. They're still in the house just with pink, purple, and blue lights. It's slow in some parts, especially in the first act. There's not a lot of kills, but the kills that they do have, I think were great. Mm-hmm. They were almost that over the top practical. You got heads exploding, and the guy they're using it was the guy's friend in the bar.
Yeah, like the voodoo doll.
Yeah, they tear open the doll to get the key. That was great. This also has a really great poster. Great music. It's very nostalgic. The story's cool. The acting, it's okay. Yeah. Again, Barbara Crampton's in there. I would have liked for her to have like
more of an active
a bigger role. I mean, she was
in it all the time, but
yeah, she plays the host on the tape for the game. I think if you grew up in the 90s, especially if you played these games, it's a must see. I gave it an 8.
Yeah, I gave it an 8 as well. But I give it an 8, but I talked to a couple other people about it too. It's not an 8.
Yeah, I'm guessing the same for you and me. the nostalgia part
Yeah,
of
it's
it brought it up.
Yeah, it's not an 8. It's a kind of messy movie. Like, I kept wondering, they'll start playing, and very early on, it's like, we can't stop playing. We have to play. And then they just kind of stop playing. Like, they'll be like, I'm going to go to bed, or I'm going to eat dinner, and then the next day comes around, and they're playing again. And it's like, we can't stop playing, or she'll get mad. And then it's like, yeah, I'm just going to sit around. And, like, it's very stop and start.
The way that she's just always active. Like, could you turn that off? If you knew you're like, she was like responding to you, and you knew that she was always just staring out of your TV actively, there.
The thing that gets me,
It'd be out the front door. It wouldn't be in my VCR.
The thing that gets me is like they'll go back to the video store and just start cleaning up videos again.
Yeah,
that happened after like the first or second one. Or they'll just eat they'll cook dinner.
Well, you got to eat.
But you're kind of realize you're trapped in the middle of this horror game.
Yeah, no, and
then you just stop. Like, for sure. Maybe it's not, and so it's not. Yeah, like, I give it an 8, but it's purely on enjoyment.
Right.
I enjoyed it as an 8. One of the things I liked most about it is I think this is the most. Like, there's a big nostalgia feel, but it didn't remind me of like The Void or Stranger Things, where I felt like they were obviously, there's a few parts, but where they're obviously tipping their hands to nostalgia, it felt authentic. Like, if I would not have read this or known who Barbara Crampton is and seen that she's older, I think this is believably, film quality wise, everything about it, how it plays, it's believably a movie from the late 80s or early 90s. Like, some of it is bad just in the way those movies are bad. That's not a like tip to the hat, like, you remember when movies kind of did this? It's bad in the same way. And so like a lot of the things where I got the real nostalgia feels weren't things they were like winking or nodding. It was like, oh, that wasn't very good, but in a way that a lot of movies I loved growing up weren't very good. It really, so I give it an 8 because I thought it was fun as shit. If I was actually ranking it on how solid of a movie it is, it would be lower.
Yeah, it's slower.
Yeah,
and not a lot happens. And again, once they start playing the game, the only thing that's really different is the colors. But the colors are beautiful.
Yeah,
I love it. I love the way it looks.
The thing that I thought was weird, well, it was funny, was when I was looking up, like before I watched it, just doing a little research, I was like, I can't find a single fucking picture of anything that happens in the movie. It's because it was so sparse with things.
Well, yeah, there's 4 keys in the game, so there was probably 4 deaths.
Yeah, there's 4 deaths, but then they die again.
So that's why the trailer was so vague.
Yeah, and then someone comes in from beyond the gates. There may be 5 or 6.
Yeah, but it was. I mean, it's really, it wasn't over the top, like the way some of the new movies that are trying to do the throwbacks to the 80s do what they did back then, but over the top. It wasn't. It's like a lot of those late 80s movies where you get it and it looks like it's going to be great, but you find out that they didn't do as much as you wanted with it. There weren't as many deaths as you hoped. It was very...
another great character in this, and actually people are... Well, he's right... what's his name? Jackson Stewart. He's writing part 2. But what a lot of people are hoping for is the character that was inside the store.
Yeah.
That weird guy. They go to the store to try to find where the dad purchased the game. They're hoping for kind of a spin-off of just...
Oh, that'd be good.
Just him. He has a good character. I mean,
and his store, I imagine you could fill it with all sorts of...
Yeah.
You could do an anthology movie.
You could pass this game around a lot of times.
It wouldn't even have to be the game. Like anything in that store, some kind of a curse.
You could do an anthology movie.
Yeah, but actually, I think it was on the news segment for the last show.
Oh,
yeah. He's writing part 2.
If you get the really nostalgic feels from late 80s, early 90s, it's worth a watch because it's fun. But if you don't, you're probably going to say, well, that's an idea that they didn't do near enough with and was kind of boring.
You could almost say if you didn't appreciate horror like as much as we do, you might say you just watched some people play a board game, but